Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back for another Best of Dragon Magazine review. This time we have Dragon Magazine Best of number 4. Let's see if we can get rid of that glare. Sorry about that, folks. There you go. So this one, not a bad one. It had a bunch of interesting articles, mostly the things that are still pertinent to today in your role-playing, your Dungeons and Dragons games, especially if you're like myself, still playing AD&D or even some of the other versions, first, second, Beckme, that sort of thing. Once you get into third edition and on, it's really the NPCs are really no longer usable in their current form here in the magazine. But you've got the bandit. Instead of just having your typical one hit die bandits, you've got room and rules to make their leader and their lieutenants a little more interesting, a little bit more formidable against the player characters. They have a D8 hit die, and they get some combat and other abilities. Then you have the bounty hunter, which I would have beefed this up a lot more and give it a lot more abilities. There's only a few special abilities. Bounty hunters, I mean, they're so easy to drop into just about any situation, and they really kind of dropped the ball on this one. Again, a D8 hit die, I think a D10 minimum, more fighterly than anything else, with some sort of like a neutral to evil, although I suppose they could be, good version of a ranger. Then the next article, probably my favorite, is the cloistered cleric, an NPC who'd rather pray than pray. Very, very helpful NPC character with up to 6 level spells. And mind you, this was before the Unearthed Arcana, so there's a whole bunch of spells from the Unearthed Arcana you could add to their spell list. But they're the priests that don't adventure. They're the ones that are, stuck in the temple or the church, doing the regular things. It always seemed in the old days that you would just have to use a regular cleric, and they just seemed a little too tough for what they would be doing. They weren't really fighters per se, or crusaders, and this article definitely gives you a lot to work with. The next one of my favorites, is the Death Master, sort of an undead creator that has very little intention of becoming a lich, although they could easily do so. A great NPC bad guy that's bringing back the dead to do his dirty work, and having the player characters seek them out and put a stop to their shenanigans is always a nice, fun little mini adventure. The Duelist, an NPC who likes to make people pay. I think it would have been better actually as a player character than an NPC. Otherwise, you've got this guy that keeps trying to, duel one or more of the player characters. Just didn't really make any sense. And giving him a D12 hit die, I suppose you could make that an annoying adversary, but once you win, it seems like it's over. The Jester, a comical, clever, charismatic NPC. I would replace the word charismatic with annoying as hell. I did have a player who once played a Jester, and again, just annoying. The Scribe, an NPC with the right touch. It could come in handy every once in a while when you've got magic users who need some of their grunt work done for them, and here's an opportunity to bring them in, stat them out, and bilk the players for every last shekel you can get out of them. The Smith, definitely something that was needed to help the players build their arsenal, their armory, that sort of thing, shoe their horses, and depending on the town and the size of it, you could go by that to determine their level. Then the middle section of the magazine is a bunch of articles taken from Dragon magazines, principles of successful adventuring. Sorry, I need water. It's a material world, scrounging up spell components. I always like to do that on the fly and come up with my own ingredients necessary, but this is several pages that would help the budding dungeon master come up with what would be needed to make this magic item or that scroll or that sort of thing. Finish fights faster, a simpler system for unarmed combat, definitely something that was needed. Two-fisted fighting, wielding more than one weapon. I just used what was in the Deities and Demigods book. If you had a high dex, then you could do it. If not, not so much. The whole half ogre, I've used this multiple times to give the group an NPC, a henchman or hireling that's a whole lot stronger than your typical NPC. Riding high aerial mounts add a new dimension. Teaches you how to handle aerial combat, which was something that was very clunky in the original DMG. Then we go to part 3, creative campaigns, 5 keys to success. Good one. A PC and his money can be parted in many ways. Thankfully, it's only a page article. I find, again, bilking the players of every last coin. Actually, it's 3 pages. But just added fees for the price of doing business, that business being adventuring. The care of castles, this is definitely something that probably got very little use because so few characters ever went and retired and built their own castle. But I have a player character who's getting ready to do that, so it's actually going to come in handy. Saintly standards, friends of the gods with special powers. If you want to add saints, not quite demigods, into your clerical campaigns, awesome. The article, these are the breaks, weapon damage in AD&D action. Just ask OG and Bloodworth how much I hate that idea. Your weapon should not break so easily, and if it does, you're going to be relegated to like my character was. I was literally carrying a quiver of bastard swords because they were breaking like they were made out of straw. Repair or beware, equipment damage and its effects. You're already, billing the party for their supplies and stuff. Just, you can bypass that one, chalk it up to you paid X amount of money to make sure all your stuff is ready to go for the next adventure. Wounds and weeds, plants can save characters' lives. Definitely something worth investigating. Being able to come up with concoctions and ointments and salves to heal the party if you don't want to have, the potion shop down the street dispensing the heal and extra heal potions, which I don't do. Ask my party. They found more magic weapons than they have potions of healing, and I think that's the way it kind of should be. The healing's on them. It's not my responsibility to make sure they stay alive. It's their job to find ways to do that. And potions used to be just the go-to. There would be games where people would each player would just buy 10 extra healing potions before the dungeon, and then it's like, well, unless I kill you before you get to the potion, nobody's going to die. Not that I'm trying to kill them, but I'm not trying to keep them alive either. That's, like I said, their job. Then there's an article on runes, which I don't think the mere scribbling of certain symbols is enough to make magical things happen, so I don't give this any merit. But those of you who do, sorry about that. I'm about to change that. Then rune stones. I'll give this a little bit more credibility if you put several mystic symbols together in the right form, in the right object, then you're on your way to actually making a magic item. But all in all, this is a halfway decent addition to your collection. Not my favorite issue, but it's up in the top 3 just because of the NPCs alone. And for the price of admission of about $10, mind you, you're getting a very old magazine, and mine's still, after all these years, in pretty good condition. definitely worth looking into. You can always just find the free PDF if you don't want to have it on hand. If you're a PDF guy, me, I like hard copies, and every once in a while I do go through this one. Don't want to give anything away, but there's some things in here that I will be implementing in my current AD&D game. But that's what I got for you today. Simple edition. What is it? 75, 77, 78 pages. Definitely worth the price of admission. You've got it. Let me know what you think. If you're going to go grab one, same thing. Any comments are always welcome in the insult section down below. And until then, I will see you guys. I got a mountain of work I got to get to between now and my Traveler game on Saturday. So I will see you. Actually, I'll see you guys tomorrow because I've got the book club meeting. But have a great day, folks. Don't let the weather get you down. And I will see you real soon. And, of course, happy trails.